as most of you found out before, before the game, we have we had some players that, medically weren't able to go. The assumption is that we have a whole lot of positives. We really don't have a lot of positives, but contact tracing has kind of knocked a few more of our players out, even though we test each day. Football wise, after we got to the game, didn't start the way we need to. Getting down 14-0 is tough. With Brandon Peters not playing and, Matt Robinson and then Isaiah Williams being in the rotation, it's tough when you played a guy that, is listed 4th on the depth chart. But I thought Karan Taylor came in and did some good things and gave us a chance to win at the end. We still didn't make enough plays. The turnovers hurt us. The passing for Purdue, their touchdown passes continue to hurt us defensively. But the team, I thought, played hard from the start and gave ourselves a chance to win. But you got to make plays at the end to win the football game, and they made more than we did. Take your question.
Scott Ritchie, we'll start off with you. You're local.
It's Lovie to start with. Karan Taylor, being kind of forced into, a situation, just how would you kind of evaluate his game as it progressed?
As I mentioned, when you're listed 4th on the depth chart, you don't get a lot of plays during the week of practice, preparing for the opponent, and that was the case. But Karan has paid attention. He's been around here a while. He knows our offense, so I thought he did a great job considering the tough situation that he was forced to be in. We were forced to be in. There's some other things that we need to do better, but he gave us the chance to win.
Jeremy Werner, go ahead. You're up.
Lovie, just wondered defensively, the secondary, what kind of issues have you seen there the last couple of games?
Well, there's some great plays by some great, at least one great player on their side. Them getting behind us, especially that longer 40, 50-yard throw or so, those are the ones that are tough. The other plays that they made, good plays by them, but we continue to get plagued by, touchdown passes. Still something we got to clean up. It's just not coverage. I mean, a lot of times you look when you have, a lot of time back there, that can contribute to it also.
And how do you just think your team has responded to all these guys being out and obviously key pieces to your team?
We had a chance. We had the ball with a chance to win. We were going to go for 2 at the end. We had a chance at the end of the game. So considering everything that's happened, I was definitely pleased with our effort. And that's what as a coach, you want to look. Did we play hard throughout? Did we handle a tough situation? Yes, we did. Next time we'll finish the job.
Thanks, Lovie.
You're welcome.
Shannon Ryan, you have a question?
Yeah, sorry, I had to unmute there. Lovie, of the 12 players who were out, how many of those were, besides Peters and Moore, but how many of those were out due to contact tracing versus injury?
Most.
Can you give a number on that?
Well, we don't give out the exact number, but I pretty much can. We have a couple positives. That's it. Rest of them are out because of contact tracing.
Okay, and any staff members who were positive, or was
that's all I'm going to talk about, Shannon. I think we've given you enough with that. We don't have any positive. It kind of hit us late in the week, and that's where we are.
Okay, and I have to ask, do you know if this can be traced back to the Wisconsin game, traveling hotel game-wise, or where these came from?
No, it's hard to tell where it came from. We've been a lot of places. Did we go to Wisconsin? Yes. Did we spend the night in Wisconsin? Yes, we did. We're on the bus. We're not in a bubble, so we live in the world, and things can happen. But I just want to say, team-wise, though, we don't have a big problem within our team with actual guys that are positive, that have tested positive.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Gabby from Daily Illini, questions?
Mine was just asked. Thank you.
Okay. Alec from Orange Blue.
Thanks, Ken. Coach, just to kind of further elaborate a little bit on the struggles that you may have had in the secondary these first 2 weeks. David Bell, I know you spoke really highly of him earlier this week. What kind of challenges do you think Nate really faced trying to guard him all game?
Nate, well, it was just one Nate. It was our entire football team was going against him. Sometimes it was man, sometimes it was zone. Great player is going to make some plays. It's a tough duty each week. That's where we are.
Moving forward, what are you kind of trying to see out of your defensive backs as you're trying to shore up some of these things in the second?
Better play. Pretty simple. Better play. Keep the ball in front of you and for us to make a few more plays.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, Joey Wagner, you're up. Nico, you're on deck. Nico, go ahead. Jim Cotter, you're up. Can't hear you, Jim. You're on mute.
Is that better?
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. Daniel Matorbebe saw his first action today, and he did pretty well. Just talk about his overall performance, Lovie.
He's practiced well when he's been healthy. He's a good football player. It's the reason why we brought him here. That was a great play that he made, the one reception that he was able to get. But he's capable of making plays like that. I thought all three of our tight ends, made plays throughout the day. We'll try to get him into the mix even more.
Thank you.
Matt Stevens, you're up. Mike McGraw on deck.
Lovie, you mentioned Karan's performance. Can you elaborate on what you liked of what you saw out of him in a tough scenario, and maybe what you didn't with the 4 turnovers?
Well, I mean, the turnovers are obvious. I mean, you can't turn the ball over. But besides that, first, just running the offense. Guys, not many people can put a guy that's listed 4th on the depth chart. Normally 1 or 2 guys get reps throughout the week. That's about it. So to step in that situation and run the offense, that says an awful lot about, the offensive coaches, keeping the guys ready in the room, and then also just Karan stepping up and doing that. So, again, you play and you practice. Once you practice, you play a lot better. But hopefully, if we have to continue at this rate, he'll of course have more reps to get ready through the week with practice.
And the quick follow-up is, if something had not happened to Matt, was Karan getting in the game part of the plan, or did an injury dictate that?
Matt was the first guy up, and Karan was the next one, followed by Deuce. Things dictate who does what, but that's kind of where we're at.
All right, thank you.
Well,
Terry Towery from AP.
You guys had a lot of inexperienced players today, especially at quarterback position. Did you simplify your offensive playbook at all?
Well, you have to. I mean, you can't run all of your plays that you would with a 5th-year Brandon Peters, but we felt like we had enough in to, we didn't make a play there, 4th down. We didn't make a play going in with a chance to win the football game. So I felt like we had enough plays in still to win the game.
Okay, Gavin Good, you're up. Brendan Jones on deck.
Hey, Lovie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Alex Pilstrom had to fill in on the O-line today. What did you think of the way that he stepped up and how the O-line played today?
I thought he did an outstanding job. The offensive line overall, I thought did a good job, but especially Alex. It was tough for Kendrick Green to move to center. That's tough. But for Alex, who hasn't played hardly any at all, to move into that position against a good, Purdue defensive line, just like Karan Taylor, a few of the guys were put in tough situations, but I thought they stepped up and did a good job.
Thanks.
Brendan Jones, you're up. Scott Ritchie on deck.
Hey, Lovie. Obviously, you talked about Karan and how he did today. When you look at Matt Robinson, obviously we don't know how long he might be out, and Karan Taylor might be that starter. How comfortable are you with him moving forward, given that the offense looked pretty dynamic today as he was behind center?
Well, I think with practice, I'm just, you know, thinking about the good plays Karan made today without practice. With practice, we should be able to clean up a lot of things. So again, I thought he threw the ball well at times. He scrambled around. It's just hard stepping into the huddle and, you know, for the first time and just running the offense. So with another week of practice, he should be in better shape going into the Minnesota game.
Okay, Scott Ritchie, Mike McGraw. Sorry, Mike, skipped you. Go ahead, Scott.
Yes, Lovey, with Owen Carney, maybe besides the penalties, was this the type of production you've been wanting to get from him at defensive end?
Yeah, you mentioned the penalties. We have to eliminate those, man. Those were some tough, you know, tough situational penalties that we got. But Owen made plays today. He's worked extremely hard. You know, he's been around. He's a senior. He's been around here, so we anticipate those kind of plays from him. But yeah, like a lot of things he did today.
Okay, Mike McGraw, Bob Rosenthal. On deck.
Lovey, obviously, the Wisconsin game got canceled today. Wisconsin's game got canceled today. You guys are playing without 14 people. Was there ever any discussion about canceling your game today?
No, not really. I mean, there'll be discussion about that if we just don't feel like we have guys to play. Enough players, number one, and it's really more enough at a position to be able to play. We were down, you look at some of the positions, some offensive linemen, but we had enough guys to step up. At the quarterback position, I mean, even though Karan's listed as the 14th quarterback, we had somebody. So I assume that's what you're supposed to do. If you can play at all, you want to keep things rolling, and we're able to do that today.
Okay, Bob Rosenthal.
Yeah, I'm curious about when Deuce Spann came into the game and then came right back out without throwing a pass. What was the situation there?
We need to get Karan out there, and Karan wasn't out there. Mistake on our part. We didn't have the right guy out there then.
So that was you calling him back
There
out?
was no plan. All right, it was a mistake. We didn't have our guy that should have been out there then. Deuce went out there when Karan wasn't ready to go. Mistake on our part.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay, Jeremy, you're up, and then that may be it. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, Lovie, I know you wanted the offensive line to get going after last week. What do you think Kendrick Green showed at center, and what did you see out of the running game?
Well, I'm anxious to, of course, see the video, but if we talk about Karan moving there, it's tough moving to center too. So I know how Kendrick played the way he normally plays, and that's good football. He was really into it, showed great leadership, liked everything about. I think when I watch the video, that's what we'll see from him, which we normally get.
Thanks, Lovie.
You're welcome.